it is also powerful to look around you and to look at the people around you and to know as painful as it is that there will always be something to protest against.
Mhm.
It is beautiful that there will always be people around you to protest with you and stand by your side. When I got to have the conversation with our showrunner, Lee Eisenberg, about how he wanted to expand the character of Harriet beyond what was in the book, I was so blown away by what he wanted to craft. I mean, crafting this character, this ambitious Black woman, mother, wife, activist, trying to save her community. I found that so inspiring and so empowering. And the thing that shocked me the most was I did not know that there was a Sugar Hill community in LA and that this actually happened here. So it became even more important to me at that point that this story be told and be told in the right way. And this is where I value Lee and our cultural consultant, Dr. Shamel Bell, so much because they crafted so much nuance around this story so that we could honor the people that actually lived through this experience. I mean, it was phenomenal. It was really utterly phenomenal because there was like, not only did they show this part of her story, this part of history, which is so necessary for people to know, but they also explored what womanhood and femininity and marriage and motherhood looked like for this Black woman during this time. And that expansion of that world, I think it just gave the story the the cultural context that it needed. If you're going to tell a story about this period of time, it broadened it in such a beautiful way to explore that narrative through a multitude of lenses. That was something that we had talked about from the beginning about how do we earn this friendship? How do they earn this closeness and this trust? And it's something that begins with a mutual love and mutual loss and grief of this person, Calvin, that they both cared about, to bring them together. But it is the growing of their families and being able to lean on one another and the ability to be honest with one another about their individual struggles that allow them to be truly close. And in the same way that Elizabeth is given the opportunity to point out to Calvin his blind spots, what I appreciate in our storytelling is that they allow Harriet to point out to Elizabeth her blind spots. Mm-hmm. Because Elizabeth is so attuned to the discrimination that she has fought against, I think that allows her to be more open and understanding of what her dear friend is going through and really catapults her to show up for her friend in true allyship and be there in the time when Harriet needs her to show up the most. Mm-hmm. You know, Paul is such a wonderful actor. Like, he's such a lovely human being. And I feel like he and I just connected so immediately. And actually, the first scene we shot together was the one where he comes home. So it's like I had just met this man. But he walked into this space and you know, when it's like magic just captures you and you are able to live in this and there's something about like, yeah, I haven't seen you. I haven't seen you in years. And that became the very real thing in that scene of like, I haven't seen you and now you are here. And we were able to endow each other with that kind of love and respect. And the thing that I actually really most value about the way that they show this marriage, like, yes, we see the joy of it, but they don't try to make it seem like it's some like perfect thing, you know. It is the way that they love each other and the way that they are trying to craft a future for their children, but in these very different ways that you see them kind of butting heads in their relationship and it creates a tension between them. And I just found that so nuanced and so realistic because yeah, like with the person you love most, you can be the most honest, or that would be my hope.
Right.
And that is what they gifted our relationship with, that like, especially after that protest scene, the conversation that we get to have in front of the house, like the fears that we both have, but also what we both want to achieve. It's I that for me was one of my most favorite scenes shooting with him, because I just found it so intimate and so beautiful and honest and real, like just like that kind of vulnerability to share our very real fears for our safety. And he's looking at safety as like, keep your head down, work hard, earn this future, while Harriet is looking at safety as, we have to make a change, we have to make things better, or else our children will never be safe. And it's lovely to watch them go on that exploration together. Well, I think, yeah, Harriet is resilient and she perseveres no matter what changes around her. She will continue to persevere and she will continue to fight, because I think at the end of the day, Harriet understands that regardless of the outcome, it is the fight that matters the most. That is the only way to see progress. That is the only way to make an impact, to keep showing up and forcing people to hear you. And that's what I take from Harriet. And that's why I know that, like, yes, this neighborhood is not going to survive in the way that she hoped it would, but she will survive and her family will survive. And that's so hard, because they gave me so much. They All of these scenes were so beautiful, were just so wonderful to film. The experience of just being around other like-minded artists and just being so on the same page. And I mean, all female directors, like this female-led show, just like talk about just feeling seen and like and understood at such a deep level of what the experience to be a woman is. Um, I think one of the things that I was the most awestruck in filming was definitely the protest scene on the freeway, because I couldn't believe that we had actually taken over part of a freeway to film this. And I was in such awe of that. And there was something that was so dynamic about it and just so inspiring. And also something that was a little painful and scary, because you think about the people that come before you and the people that will most likely come after you that will have to continue to stand in protest. And it is something that's really, it can be hard to swallow.
Yeah.
That is something that continues to happen.
Yeah.
But it is also powerful to look around you and to look at the people around you and to know, as painful as it is, that there will always be something to protest against. It is beautiful that there will always be people around you to protest with you and stand by your side. I am just so happy that our industry is opening up again. And that we will have the opportunities to continue working and collaborating with one another and telling important stories and sharing our artistry, because I just think it is what helps us feel seen and alive, to be able to like reflect people's stories back to them. So just being able to talk about this project has been fundamentally necessary for my process of kind of closing out this chapter on what has been a really wonderful experience.